Hello everyone and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. It is Friday, May the 24th, 2019, and here we are for show number 76. Let's go! Can't wait for this stream of shows that we're going to be doing in the next couple of weeks with the French Open. That is Roland Garros about to begin. Are you looking forward to it, Carla?
I am, especially since I have a few bets going on.
I hope everyone's looking forward to it as well. Carla has a bet with Rajesh Kumar that Novak Djokovic will not win the French Open. I have a bet with Anis Zizou out there that Roger Federer will win the French Open. So I look forward to seeing, or we look forward to seeing how that unfolds. Please like and subscribe to our channel. We really have a fun time with this show and with all of you. It's become part of our daily life, and to have this going on with all of you is really a fun thing. So thank you so much for watching and keeping us involved with all your nice comments. And we really look forward to covering this French Open. As last year we started doing this show at Wimbledon, so this will be our first French Open that we cover with all of you. So I can't wait. Carla?
Same here.
So by the way, thanks so much as always to all of you. Without all of you, this show wouldn't be possible. Carla and I would still be talking smack in the kitchen or upstairs or wherever, because we always did this amongst ourselves, and it's very nice to share our passion of this game with all of you. So thanks so much to all of you. All right, so the French Open Roland Garros begins Sunday. So let's jump right into the thick of things. We have a ton to talk about, a lot to talk about. So let's get right into the thick of it. You ready?
I am.
All right. Real quickly, we're going to start this show out with the last mention of our prize giveaways that we always do for major tournaments. So we're going to run through the prize giveaways one last time, and all of your submissions will be submitted in comments on this video. I think we did get one already from Dusan Dramakanin, right?
Yes, we did. The only thing I'm missing is your who wins. Who's your winner?
Yes. So Dushan submitted his players, but did not give us the finalists and winners.
He did give me the finalists,
but
just
not the
winner.
winners.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into all this. All right. So real quickly, we're gonna touch on the prize giveaways for the French Open. This is how they will work. The first prize giveaway is going to be for 2 sets of YTEX strings. So for example, this is 1 set of YTEX strings, and we have a lot of others as well. But this prize giveaway is going to be for 2 sets of YTEX strings, and this giveaway works as follows. You must pick a fantasy team of 8 players, both on the men's side and women's side. So you'll pick 8 players on the women's side, and you will pick 8 players on the men's side. Only 5 of them can be in the top 20, and the other 3 must be outside the top 20. Or you can have all your players outside the top 20 if you wish, but only 5 can be inside of the top 20. As the tournament begins, each player that you select will establish 1 point or gain 1 point for every round that they win within the tournament. Once the tournament ends, we will tally up the points that each of your players have won, and hopefully you will keep up with that with us, because if there's a lot of submissions, it's kind of tough to keep up with, but nonetheless we will and do our best. But we're going to pick 8 players. Each round that they win, both on the women's side and men's side, will give you 1 point. At the end of the tournament, again, Carla and I are competing in this, and we will give you our teams as well. But if we are defeated, and hopefully we are, because I'll be honest, I'm the world's worst at the French Open. It's really tough to call teams. I'll go ahead and tell you, at Wimbledon and the U.S. Open, I plan to destroy all of you. Let's go! But the French Open, it's a tough animal.
It is, yeah.
Okay, it's a tough animal.
Especially the women's.
So whoever has the most points at the end of the men's side and on the women's side will get 2 sets of YTEX strings. Okay? Pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah, and if you don't need the strings, then apparel.
Yeah, and if you don't play and you would rather a shirt, then we do have some YTEX shirts, and we have our own 5K tennis shirts. We're a little low on the YTEX stuff in terms of apparel, so we have 5K tennis stuff as well, in case you would rather have the apparel. So real quickly, I'm going to give you, go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. I'm going to give you my team for the women. Are you ready? Here we go. I have Serena Williams, the 10 seed. I have Simona Halep, the 3 seed. I have Ashley Barty, the 8 seed. I have Petra Kvitova, the 6 seed. I have Sloane Stephens, the 7 seed. I have Daria Kasatkina, the 21 seed. I have Caroline Garcia, the 24 seed. And I have Mladenovic, the French young lady that's being coached by Sasha Bajin.
We realize she's not French, though.
Well, she plays for France.
Yeah, she's not French.
And that's another story for another show. Hey, go play for whoever will pay your way, right? Same premise here. But I have Mladenovic as my unseeded player. Carla, do you have your team?
I have Serena Williams, Belinda Bencic, Petra Kvitova, Karolina Pliskova, Simona Halep, Amanda Anisimova, Marketa Vondrousova, and Mladenovic, I think is how you say her name.
I'm going to destroy her. I know that. I'm going to destroy that
Sloane
team.
Stephens?
Sloane Stephens is going to do big things. Sloane Stephens may even get to the final.
Garcia? Okay.
Hey, she's on her home turf.
Kasatkina?
She's due. She's due. See, this is how it's going to get. It's going to be smack talk, and I'm going to wake up in the morning.
Ashley Barty.
Oh, yeah, she's going to be all right. Well, at least I'm not talking about Andreescu, because we've got new comments, and we'll get into that. I think one was from IC, and it's great to have you here. But yes, we had a comment, or a couple of them the other day. How can we not select Andreescu? Well, I'm not going to select Andreescu because she's still a baby. She had a lights-out hard court run, good, but she hasn't gained enough traction over the long haul for me to jump on the Andreescu bandwagon, right?
Well, and I think he mentioned that she won French Open doubles, juniors. Juniors is a different story.
Well, okay.
From pro tennis.
Well, Dennis Kudla won Junior Wimbledon.
Means nothing.
Where is he? Ricardo Berankis, I watched play Jerzy Janowicz in the Junior Wimbledon final in person, or not Junior Wimbledon final, and the Junior U.S. Open final in 2007. And where is Berankis and Janowicz?
This is also a 2-week tournament, so it's a lot more ruling, and clay can be long points, and she has not played any clay tournaments.
Yeah.
That's why I did not pick her. If she would have played clay tournaments and would have done well, then I give her a chance. But I think her first round match, Sophia Kenin, will be a battle.
Wait a minute. Does Andreescu and Kenin play in the first round or the second round? I thought it was a second round matchup, honestly.
Could be a second round.
So yeah, because Kenin plays a qualifier in the first round, and so does Andreescu.
Yeah,
so it's a second round match.
For all you know.
And this isn't the first time that these two have been squared up in the second round. But neither here nor there. Again, Andreescu is a mere baby at this point for me. And again, this is a game that we have been around since we were born into it. 4 decades ago, and there's a lot of junior players.
He was born into it.
That do really well, and we just don't see too much of them after juniors. As you know, a lot of our junior players that we coach, we try to tell them that just because you may not be where you want to be as a junior, or already there as a junior, and you think it's going to carry into the next level, don't waste too much time on that. Continue to get better in your head and physically and mentally. And things will be okay. But just because you're a good junior player and won a juniors tournament, or just won, what was it, Indian Wells or Miami?
She won Indian Wells. That's hardcore.
You know, that's great.
And she has shoulder problems at Miami. She had to pull out of that tournament. That's why I couldn't pick her. I just couldn't. There's so many other players that are better in play.
I'm just not ready to pick a baby amongst
It's not that she's a baby. There's a lot of babies playing.
She's a baby. Andreescu's a baby. She's a baby.
Back in the days, we had 18-year-old Grand Slam champions.
But this isn't...
Steffi Graf won hers.
Well, I understand that. But this isn't the same rodeo. It's a different world we live in.
Sure.
People bloom later. There's no longer 15-year-old Tracy Austins or young Capriatis.
That's true.
It's a different world.
We've even dumbed down tennis with the red and orange balls, and rackets have to be lighter.
Here, you can't hit this ball right, so here, have this big, huge red one. And once you get it over, maybe you'll think you can play, but really, you're still going to have to hit the solid green ball one day. All right, anyway, so you have both Carla and my women's team, so let's go ahead and give you our men's team. My men's team is as follows. All of these are good for 1 point per round that they win. Here we go. I have Novak Djokovic, Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, Dominic Thiem, Borna Coric. Can you imagine that? I always pick Borna Coric. Stan the Man Wawrinka, Laszlo Djere, and Dusan Lajovic. Yes, I have 3 Serbians in this tournament. Again, Djokovic, Nadal, Federer, Thiem, Coric, Wawrinka, Laszlo Djere, and Dusan Lajovic. And by the way, I had Nick Kyrgios until he pulled it out. And I replaced Kyrgios because of that with Dusan Lajovic. Carlos team?
Good choice. Nadal, Djokovic, Federer, Tsitsipas, Fabio, the beautiful beer, Fognini, Stan Wawrinka, who is probably now concentrating tennis because he is no longer with Donna Vekic. Agur Alessim and Fernando Verdasco. Kyrgios' favorite person.
I think that's kind of funny that you mentioned Donna Vekic and Stanislav Wawrinka breaking up. They were,
Yes.
if you're new to this show
So
and I
sad.
don't know this, Wawrinka and Vekic are a thing or were a
For a
thing.
long time.
But I have that actually written in a little bit later when we have some fun with this show. But yeah, I do.
He's going to concentrate on tennis because he did say that he was at the end of his career. So he was taking tennis seriously.
All right, so you have our men's teams, and again, what was your men's team again? Can you tell me?
Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, Tsitsipas, Fognini, Wawrinka, Agur Alessim, and Verdasco. I only have 1 Serbian on my team.
Here we go. I got 3. Let's go. Come on. Let's get this done. Let's get so pumped up for these majors. It's hot in here. We turned the AC off and the fan off so we can hear, and our little kind of set here, and I'm
I've got 2 Spaniards on my
drenched
team.
in sweat. All right. So the second and last prize giveaway for this tournament involves this tennis racket, which is a Wilson Burn Countervail 100S. It is slightly used. My oldest son, used this for 1 year or 1 season, a few months of high school tennis. So it has a few little chips on the top, going for short balls and etc. But there is no cracks. It's a very nice racket. The original grip is pristine. It always had a nice overgrip on it. When and if someone beats Carla or myself, if you win, then I will string this racket with a string of your choice that we carry, and I will ship it to you, no questions asked. The criteria for this racket giveaway is that you must pick. Now, Dusan, make sure you do this. Dusan Dramakanin, make sure you've already given us your finalists, but you haven't given us your winners. Give us your prediction for the women's final, who will play who, and for the men's final, who will play who, and the winners of both of those matches. You do not have to get them perfect. All the qualification is that you must have 3 of the 4 finalists. So let's say I pick Serena and Halep and Djokovic and Nadal, and just 3 of them make it. I'm qualified. I'm in. I don't even have to have all 4, and I want 1 winner. Okay. All 4 finalists pick, but you only have to have 3, and you only have to select 1 winner. All right? If, by the way, there is a tie, we will look at some variable, like whichever players you selected that made the tie occur, whoever lost like the least amount of games. We'll make it if there's a tie where it's genuinely won by something like that. I'm thinking the lowest amount of games are lost. The lowest amount of games lost by whoever you have there, right? Mm-hmm. It's a pretty good way. So I'm going to go ahead and give you my finalists for the French Open on the women's side and on the men's side. For my women's final, I have Sloane Stephens versus Serena Williams, with Serena Williams winning it. Okay? On the men's side, even though I have a bet with Anissa Zhu that Federer will win it, I don't have that on my bracket. I do have Novak Djokovic in the final against Rafael Nadal, and I do have Nadal winning that match. Okay? Carla, who's your finalists and winners?
I have Serena Williams and Belinda Bencic in the final, with Serena winning, and I have Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal, with Nadal winning, of course.
All right. So
I think it's going to happen that way? No.
So the kicker here is there's going to be a lot of people that have the Djokovic-Nadal final.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think we'll be shocked.
And one of the 2 winning. The kicker is going to be who gets one of the 2 on the women's side and that winner to qualify for the racket. If there are multiple ties, we are going to look at the selections that they have chosen, whether they got in or not, and which players lost the least amount of games to decide. All right? So let's get right into draws. I mentioned earlier that I had Nick Kyrgios on my draw. Yes, that's right. Nick Kyrgios, the one that just blasphemed the French Open and that nobody likes clay and threw the chair in the last tournament and yada, yada, yada. I had him, yes, to carry that negative energy, even though it's more energy than most carry negative or positive. I had him on my team. He pulled out, so I substituted.
Due to injury.
Yeah.
Injury of the mouth.
More like injury of the mouth, and I don't want the French crowd to go off on me.
Because they're a tough crowd.
Yeah,
as we know, Serena Williams, they made her cry when she played against Justine Henin. So remember the match where Justine Henin put her hand up, and Serena said she put her hand up. She wasn't ready, and Henin never admitted to it. Yeah, they made her cry. She lost that match. I will never forget that.
Yeah, Justine Henin used to have Serena Williams' number a lot. All right, so let's jump right into the women's draws and how we're going to do this for time. We are going to do, just so you know, if you see Carlo or myself get up, generally we have one of our 5 children. That's either Gabriella, Justin Jr., Christopher, Jonathan. Who did I miss? I already forgot. Liliana. One of them will usually check the camera, so pardon us here. They are all at school for their last day. Let's go!
That means a lot of tennis practice.
That means the refrigerator is going to be more empty. 5 kids, refrigerator? Gee.
Well, they'll be busy, so.
All right, so we're going to jump right into the women's draw, and we're going to talk about intriguing first-round matchups, but ultimately, for time reasons, what we want to discuss are the intriguing first-round matchups, interesting stories, and who we think will get into the second week. All right? Okay. So I want to start out right here, right now with this one. Top half, women's draw, starting up top. We have a very interesting first-round matchup between Helena Ostapenko and Victoria Azarenka right off the bat.
Wow.
Okay?
Bad deal for both.
Who wins that match, though, Carla?
I have Azarenka coming through. But really, it was a toss-up for me because I think Grand Slams are a different story. I'm not quite sure that Victoria Azarenka is ready for the Grand Slam on clay. But then Ostapenko
She won a French.
She won a French, but there is no confidence in her game. So that's why I give it to Azarenka.
Now, let's look at the toughness of this first-round matchup and what happens just afterwards. So let's say Azarenka or Ostapenko wins this match. I mean, obviously, one of them is going to win. But the next round would be against Naomi Osaka. That is if she gets past Shmedlova.
She should get through.
So,
I mean, she's the #1 seed. Why not? Experience always takes over.
So intriguing first-round matchup with Azarenka and Ostapenko. I think ultimately Osaka goes through either or. Unless Azarenka's screech or her squeal.
You know, I would give Azarenka a chance if she plays Osaka the way she plays Serena. I would give her a chance.
I give Azarenka a chance to get past Ostapenko, Osaka, then maybe Sakari, only on one condition. She squeals so loud her eyeballs burst. It's the only way. I've got Osaka moving on beyond any of them, and I may be wrong. Again, I'm not a huge Osaka fan, but I think she has enough to get past Ostapenko or Azarenka. Am I wrong? All right. Other intriguing matches that I have, or interesting names, we start rolling down the top half of the women's draw. Sakari. We know we have a nickname for Sakari, the bicep, back foot hitting forehand. Can Sakari do damage? She's got a fairly easy first round against Tashvili. She has a fairly second round set up against Siniakova. Siniakova's a good player, but then
she's beaten her before.
Then she'll run into Osaka. So again, can Sakari do damage here and shock the world with her huge biceps?
She should win round 1 and 2. I think Osaka is a whole different level of a player.
Moving down in the draw, again, we used to do for Wimbledon when we started this show last year. Every match, we would review every match, but we would go on 4 hours, and views on videos, we'd have like a whole lot on the first one and then like 2 on the second, third, and fourth.
Only the brave.
Only the brave, like the B-Dogs and the Raheshes and the Simones and the scattering of others would like hang in for the 4 hours. So anyway.
Commendable to them.
Commendable. Much love, right? By the way, we should have some type of new recording device touching down here via FedEx at some point today, maybe tomorrow. So there may be a little learning curve before we figure out how to make this work with a little bit better video quality, but we did it ultimately for you. So let's go! I hate the learning curve though. I don't want to learn anything new technical because I'm awful at it. Rahesh, I might have to call you, bro. May have to call you. All right, how far does Caroline Garcia go in this tournament? Does home field advantage help her here?
I mean, she has a pretty good looking draw. I have her facing Keys in the 3rd round and actually beating Keys.
Let's look at for a moment Sloane Stephens. And by the way, again, I picked Caroline.
Sloane Stephens.
We're getting there. Sloane Stephens is here, all right? So what she's on the draw. Just follow me. When we have 128 matches to do on the
Sloane
men's
Stephens
and women's,
is in the second sheet.
follow me on this
Okay.
one. When we do men's and women's matches, and there's 128 players on the men's and 128 on the women's, we're picking teams. We are competing against one another. We're like, get away from me. I asked Carla earlier, tell me your team. She's like, no. I'm like, well, can I tell you mine? No, I don't want to be influenced by your subpar decisions, was her words. So I wrote this in a dark room away from her. She didn't want to hear it.
I didn't want to
So
hear it. No.
I'm going down what I have written. Unless you want to roll. I mean,
No, I thought we were going down by
No,
the drawer because now we're skipping to the second.
We're going to
sheet.
skip around a lot because there's
I
no
think we
way
should
we
go
can.
down. No, but you should have mentioned just notable
All right, go ahead,
matches.
Carla.
What's your next notable match on that first top draw?
I have them all scattered in.
Oh, okay. Well, then go ahead. Sloane Stephens.
That's what
it
I'm
is.
telling you. We can't go through 128 matches.
Oh, I
total.
wasn't planning on.
We can't.
Okay.
All right, so Caroline Garcia, by the way, I think does extremely well. Sloane Stephens, which is on the bottom half, I understand that, but thank you for letting me know. For 2 weeks, I'm competing with her, okay? And all of you. She gets no gravy train pass from me for 2 weeks, okay? Sloane Stephens has a very nice draw. Very nice. Serena has a doable draw with the exception of meeting Barty and Osaka. And that's a big hurdle. But down bottom, on the bottom half, Sloane Stephens has a real good chance of making to the final, in my opinion.
I have her losing to Sorita's Tormosera in the second round. I think.
Disagree with you totally.
Well, I disagree with you completely. Just because she's not confident right now. She's got a new coach. She half the time it looks like she's hitting her forehand late. I think if she meets a clay specialist, which Sorita's is, will give her a hard time. And if her mind's not right, it's not gonna happen.
See this? This is what I gotta deal with for 2 weeks. That.
And then her cog next.
Her
If she
cog.
won that-
Look, her.
If she won that next, she would deal with her cog. And then Muguruza?
So you're letting her cog's biceps influence your decision?
No, I'm looking at these girls play on clay. Sloane Stephens is not the better clay player. She's not the Sloane Stephens from last year that played Halep. And still, she should have beat Halep last year.
Moving on, because she's in left field, like she should be playing baseball.
I think most people would agree with me on that one.
Sloane Stephens has a really good draw.
I think a few people laughed at you on social media about Sloane Stephens.
Sloane Stephens has an excellent draw, excellent chance to make the final. Hasn't she made a French Open final before?
Yeah, and she should have beat Simona Halep. She had that match.
Just telling you. How you gonna doubt me on that? Drenched in sweat here, getting all amped up. Let's go. Come on. Come on. All right. By the way, the whole bottom half of the draw is open, in my opinion, on the women's side. Obviously, you disagree. I think it's open. What about Garbine Muguruza? How does Muguruza's draw look, given that she almost has no competition until she may meet Sloane Stephens? And are you meaning to tell me, Carla, that Muguruza you would favor to beat Sloane Stephens at this point?
It's right here.
Okay, so I picked on my draw. I picked question mark. Sloane Stephens or Muguruza could do damage here.
Let me see it.
But
both of them are not confident. But she's played in Spain, not from Spain. She's from Venezuela, but moved as a little kid to Spain. Train on clay. I'm gonna go with Muguruza.
I'm going with Sloane Stephens and take it to the bank. Take it to the bank.
Remember that. Take it to the
Take
bank.
Sloane Stephens to the bank. Let's go. I'm telling you, don't doubt. Even though I'm the worst French Open picker ever, take Sloane Stephens to the bank. She's got a good draw. Muguruza does have a good draw as well, but I think her run comes to an end when she meets Sloane Stephens. We look at these draws, and I think that sometimes we forget about Angelique Kerber. Okay? Kerber, right?
She had an ankle injury in the last tournament.
So Kerber is here. How does Kerber do here, Carla? Huh? How does Kerber do?
I think I have her losing in the second round.
I mentioned that because she deserves to be mentioned. She's a major winner.
She is.
She cannot be doubted, but I don't have Kerber going very far at all. I actually have Kerber maybe losing to Yastrengska, but again, Kerber could very well run all the way through and make a semi against Sloane Stephens in the semis.
Well, I
She
actually
could.
have Kerber meeting Marketa Vondrousova, and I think Vondrousova has beaten her before on clay, so I'm giving that match to the 19-year-old, actually. I just don't think Kerber's 100% yet.
Moving forward, we have, you mentioned earlier that Mladenovic was not truly French, and we understand that. People go train places because different countries or coaching, I guess you could say, organizations will pay someone or train them if they fly their flag. And we have that with Mladenovic. I have Mladenovic, though, on my fantasy team to go deep at this tournament, and not just because she has a solid coach now with a proven track record in Sasha Bajin. But how far do you think that Mladenovic goes? Do you think she goes deep? I think, personally, just saying this, I think Mladenovic makes a semifinal against Sloane Stephens.
I have Mladenovic losing to Pliskova. They played each other in the last tournament, I think. Oh no, she played against Sakari and lost to Sakari in this last tournament we just had. I see her maybe making 2 rounds. She'll have a tough match against Martic. That'll be a tough test for her.
Yeah, Martic is a fine player. Really is a fine player.
You're forgetting, they're both Croatian, really.
Something, though, about the mindset of a player with a coach that has proven himself to be involved with multiple Grand Slam championships with the likes of Serena and Osaka. Sometimes simply having someone that you say as a coach, they're not teaching you to hit forehands or backhands anymore. They're not teaching you so much strategy. They're giving you a sense of belief. I think Sasha Bajin has this belief foundation, and I think because Mladenovic is just as good as any other female player at this point on this surface, with the exception of maybe a few specialists. But when you have the belief, I think it makes you extremely dangerous. I think Mladenovic does very well simply because she believes or has the ability to want to believe because of her coach.
Well, I mean, whoever comes through here, Mladenovic or Pliskova, has a pretty open draw because Wozniacki, as we know, hasn't been able to play a full match. And then you have players like Gorgas, who's been losing matches, Kanepi, who's really not a clay court, Zhang, Diaz, Kudermotova, Albi. Some of these players we've never heard of. So that little section there is open. So if Pliskova were to go through, or like you said, Mladenovic, I see them sailing through the quarters.
Yeah, and I would love to see Sabalenka do well here, but she's got a match against Sibylkova right off the bat, who made an Australian Open final against the young Chinese girl. Who was the Chinese girl Sibylkova played in the final of the Australian Open? What? The girl that played the final in the Come on, who played the Chinese girls that played Sibylkova in the final of the Australian?
That's retired already. From China.
Come on. All right, here we go.
That was forgettable with Sibylkova. So, sorry, I didn't forgot the Sibylkova.
Lena's not forgettable. Didn't Lena win 2 majors?
Lee is not, but Sibylkova, I forgot that she even made a final.
All right, and then lastly, we already touched on this, is we get asked why we don't discuss Andreescu a lot.
Well, you didn't even touch Venus Williams and Slovenia. That's an interesting match.
And I have that written in, but we're at 30 minutes, and we haven't even gotten to the men's side yet. So Venus Williams, we've discussed that if Venus and Serena were on opposite sides of the draw, in a sense they are, why wouldn't we be, in other words, we would be naive not to select either one of them to potentially meet in a final. Unfortunately, Venus Williams plays Svitolina.
So either one could lose that match.
So that's a tough first round match. And because of the stakes with strings and rackets, I couldn't take a first round loss right out the bat.
Yes.
It's
risky. That's a risky one.
All right. So real quickly, I'm going to give you our quarterfinalists, women's. Osaka, Serena, Halep, Kvitova, Sloane Stephens or Muguruza against Bencic or Bertens, and Kerber against Mladenovic. That's my quarterfinals.
Well, mine is Osaka, Serena, Halep, Kvitova, Muguruza, Bencic, Vondrousova, and Pliskova.
All right, and again, sorry if this is kind of a cluster of stuff. Just to let this be known, we found out that the draws were released late yesterday. We finished the draws out. We've been up and grinding all day doing this, and then we have to go teach lessons at 4. So I think our ultimate goal is to get through the pre-French Open discussion so we can start breaking down matches as we go. So if it's a little bit unorganized, don't shoot the messenger. Doing our best. Let's go! All right, let's jump right into the men's side. Starting with the top half of the men's draw. And I think Carla disagrees totally that Djokovic has an extremely tough draw. She disagrees. I think so. Why? He starts off with Herkesh right out of the back. Very talented player from Poland.
That would be
Okay.
a little test.
He should win it, but it's a test right
It's a
off.
little test.
Then he has to face potentially a big serving American in the likes of Sam Querrey.
That never does well on clay.
Didn't Sam Querrey make a Wimbledon semifinal, or was it a final?
Semifinal. That's grass to clay are two different animals.
So it means nothing on this
surface?
surface?
It means nothing. Look at Pete Sampras.
Then Djokovic may have to square off against the huge grunting Jamie Munar.
Not enough experience to even do damage.
But still a test. Then may have to match up with the likes of Borna Koric,
mentally not there.
Jen Leonard Struff, Shapovalov, or Albat in the fourth.
He destroyed Shapovalov.
Kyrgios pulled out, so that helped him out in a potential.
That would have even mattered.
Now he has either Bautista Agut, Zverev, or what is it?
Fognini?
No, who's the player that I picked? Lajovic?
Yeah.
So he's got a tough role.
He'll roll through the
As well in the top half of the draw, he has the Frenchman himself, the wonderful Gao Monfils. He has Dominic Thiem. He has Kachanov. He has, I was going to say Lucas Pouille, but he hadn't won a match since, like, forever. He has Feliciano Lopez, who's tricky. Don't forget about that. Del Potro and Nicolas Jarry. That's a tough...
Nicolas Jarry and Del Potro face in the first round.
But I think Jarry can beat Del Potro.
So Potro is irrelevant then to Djokovic.
But that means Jarry is relevant.
Oh, gosh.
See what I got to deal with? Every day. I got to deal with it.
By the way, Nadal and Djokovic have the best draws. Just saying. Until Nadal reaches that semi.
All right, interesting first round matchups men's side. We have Denis Shapovalov, a.k.a. Carlos' future #1 in the world, which didn't happen and is not going to happen.
19.
Doesn't matter. Playing Jen Leonard Struff, and I think Struff wins the match.
And I actually picked Struff to win that match. It's clay.
I had written here before Kyrgios pulled out, Kyrgios could definitely meet Novak Djokovic in the fourth round.
You're wasting too much time on Kyrgios and breath, honestly.
Kyrgios could have beaten Djokovic, but he got his mouth got in too much trouble, and he couldn't face the crowd that was going to defame him. So if you're going to talk the talk, then you better be able to back it up.
I think some viewers agree with me. You're wasting time on him.
Look, Kyrgios is going to do damage at Wimbledon. You'll find out.
Well, I had a good draw. Bernard Tomic and Taylor Fritz. I have Taylor Fritz winning that. I know it's not a big deal, but I saw Taylor Fritz there, and I said, good opportunity for him to get through one round.
How is Taylor Fritz and Bernard Tomic even relevant
it's
in
just
a
a
second
interesting match. Bad boy against good boy.
Okay, young father, great for him against a guy that wants to beat up Leighton Hewitt.
That's what I'm saying. One good match
and fight with his dad in the parking lot. Well, what is it? I mean, I don't get the relevance there.
How about Jeremy Chardy and Kyle Edmund?
Irrelevant.
Poor Edmund.
Irrelevant.
Wow. Just like Kyrgios. Let's give these guys more credit than talking about Kyrgios.
You're telling me that Edmund is the same level player of Nick Kyrgios, even with all his antics. Really?
He's ranked number 28 in the world.
At
least he behaves on the court.
Look, Edmund may be on grass, maybe on hard court.
Yeah, he's irrelevant in clay. Get it?
So why would we bring it
So
up?
is Kyrgios. Remember, he complained about it.
If Kyrgios wouldn't have ran his mouth to the crowd and have probably 20 million people mad at him, he would have shown up and done damage. Correct me if I'm wrong. Am I wrong? He let his mouth mess him up.
Another interesting match is, I don't want to waste breath on him, Juan Martín del Potro against Nicolas Jarry, even though I think Potro should get through that one.
What about the intriguing matchup at the beginning between Feliciano Lopez, who I like a lot, beautiful game, Spaniard, and a timeless veteran, playing the big serving Ivo Karlovic? Is that an intriguing matchup?
No.
Is it?
Not on clay.
Okay, who wins the match?
Lopez.
So would that mean Feliciano Lopez is a good pick as an unseeded player on your fantasy team?
For one round, then he faces the young Canadian, Agor Aliassime, which I have him losing to.
We have Francis Tiafoe that could very well lose in the first round to Krajinovic, the Serbian player.
Yes, that's
so four Serbian on the radar. Djokovic, Lajovic, Jiri, and Krajinovic. I think Krajinovic beats Tiafoe in the first round.
I do too.
Okay.
That's an upset alert.
What about the other Serbian we're not talking about? The mighty Jako Tipsarevic that's facing off against Grigor Dimitrov in the first round. Who wins that, Carla?
Oh, I picked Tipsarevic. I love Tipsarevic.
I'm going to go with Dimitrov here just because he's a little bit more tuned in, I think, at this point.
He just lost in Geneva in a small tournament.
I understand that, but I think Tipsarevic may cramp up a little bit if it goes 5 sets, where I think Dimitrov might not cramp.
Maybe if Dimitrov looks good and has his collar right and his clothes right, maybe he'll win.
The bottom half of the men's draw is completely crowded up, in my opinion. It's crowded. You have the likes of, in the top half, Tsitsipas, Wawrinka, Garin, who we talked about Garin a lot. We have Marin Cilic. We have Cecchinato. We have Federer. We have Nishikori. We have Laszlo Giri. We have Medvedev. We have Vasilashvili. And we have Nadal. So, by the way, if anyone wants to think that...
You have Goffin, Peja, Guido.
Goffin, Peja, exactly. So if anyone wants to think that Djokovic necessarily has the toughest draw, and you haven't looked at the bottom half, you're incorrect.
And you got Diego Schwartzman against Ironman, Marko Fucsovics right away.
There is no such thing at this level in tennis, in majors especially, 3 out of 5 sets, where you have to win 7 matches, 3 out of 5 sets, where there's a such thing as an easy draw.
None of them are easy.
There is no easy draws at this level.
I know I said that Djokovic had an easier draw, but you could lose to anyone at any day. If you didn't wake up right, you didn't eat right, or you're not healthy, you could lose to any of these players.
So we have a Tsitsipas in the bottom half, and I've read articles abound that say that he should be in the top 5 favorites to win the tournament. I disagree at this point. Again, I think Tsitsipas is the best of the younger generation, but again, remind everyone that I think the whole next gen thing is cheesy, and if you're on the court, you're just another tennis player, win or lose regardless of age. Next gen, that's just some cheesiness concocted because no one can beat Djokovic, Nadal, or Federer. Furthermore, no one could even beat Murray, who's not even that great. I don't mean to offend any of our England viewers or United Kingdom viewers, but Murray's just not that great. I'd rather have Tim Henman on my team than that guy.
I disagree.
Anyway, Tim Henman, in my opinion, I'd rather have on my team than Andy Murray.
Murray did a lot more. Disagree completely.
He won a couple of Wimbledons. I understand that.
Tim
That's
Henman
great.
didn't even make a final.
I'm not going to get into all that.
How are you going to compare somebody that won 3 Grand Slams to someone who never made a final? How?
I just think Andy Murray's.
Please explain that to me.
I think Andy Murray's a crybaby. I think he's a crybaby. I don't disrespect Andy Murray as a person. I just don't care for his game.
I understand that, but if you had to pick your team and I want to win a doubles match, I'm going to go with Murray.
All right. Moving forward, I would take Henman on my team over Murray if I had both of them in their prime. I would. Sorry, that's just me.
That's just you. You're right.
All right, so real quickly, as we can move forward, because we're going to run out of time, again, there's 128 players on the men's side, 128 players on the women's side, which means there's 128 matches. It's just impossible to get them all in without kind of doing it this way. So very sorry if this is a cluster. If you're new to the channel, sorry if it seems kind of thrown together.
I would stop apologizing and let's talk about the
All right, well, let's go. Let's go with the men's quarterfinalists that we have listed here. So who's going to make it into the day after the second week? I have Wawrinka, Federer, Nishikori or Giri, because I'm confused there. Nishikori or Giri, Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic, but I have a slash Koric because I'm still not sold on Djokovic on this surface, even though he's won one. Just not. Hate me later. Nick Kyrgios, but he withdrew, so I put Lajovic in that spot. Dominic Thiem / Gal Monfils. Never know when you have your home crowd rooting for you what can happen. And on the very bottom, I have any of these 5. Khachanov, Auger Aliassime, Feliciano Lopez, Juan Martín del Potro, or Nicolas Jarry. That's how open it is down there.
Well, I have Tsitsipas, Federer, Medvedev, Nadal, Djokovic, Fognini, and Verdasco and Khachanov. I didn't have question marks like he did. I'm sure.
You're sure, and that's why you're going to lose.
Yeah, okay. I do a lot better than you.
Hot up in here. Man. All right.
No wonder you look so red.
Ah, well, look, I wear a wide brim hat on the court every day.
No, I was saying because of the shirt. No.
When I go out on the court, even though I have a wide brim hat on as big as a sombrero sometimes, somehow my face still gets burned. All right. Anyway, we're going to go into 14 rapid-fire questions for Carla. I figured she would dig into me on this show. And the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. I'm going to beat her, and then she can talk all the smack she wants as we unfold points, because I will win. Plain and simple. I will win. Count my words. All right, rapid fire questions. You ready, Carla?
Yeah.
You guys can play along at home.
We had a few from the last show that did answer.
You guys can play along at home. When you hear these questions, type your answer, and we look forward to reading them, but you can't deliberate on it. If you hear it, you got to go. Hear it, you got to answer. 1 or 2 seconds or you can't answer. You ready? Carla, here we go. You ready to join 14 rapid fire questions? Question number 1, and we're going to move through them. Move through them. Number 1. Do you think I am ridiculous with my Sloane Stephens versus Serena Williams final picks?
Yes.
Will Ostapenko beat Azarenka in the first round and finally find her form again for this French Open?
No.
Will we be forced to break out the Screech Level Index indicator meter this tournament? In other words, we have sometimes when screeches get so loud, if you're new to this, we have to monitor the loudness of player screeches. Will we have to break out that meter this tournament?
Yes.
Okay. Who do you think will win the screech off if you had to choose a male player and female player right now?
TM.
TM, and who's your female?
Azarenka.
I have the loudest screecher being Jamie Munar for this tournament, and the loudest screecher for the women being Victoria Azarenka. Will Novak Djokovic win this French Open?
No.
Do you like cats or dogs better?
Cats.
Really?
Yeah, my favorite animal is a cheetah, so yeah. And a jaguar, yeah, so cats.
How am I married to you and I didn't know that?
That's why we have a cat.
I thought you were a dog person.
No, that's why we have a cat and a dog.
Learn something new every day. Does Wawrinka, Stan the Man Wawrinka, splitting up with his girlfriend and tennis player Donna Vekic, does this hurt his play?
No.
Does it hurt her play?
No.
You don't think?
No.
All right, we'll find out.
I bet you she already moved on.
Can Gael Monfils make his country really proud of him this year?
No.
The French Open is the last major tournament without a tiebreaker in the 5th set. Will we get some dramatic 544 to 542 match in the 5th set simply to make this a tournament that will inevitably have a 5th set tiebreaker? Are we going to be set up for theatrics in a really crazy match like we have in all the rest of the majors?
No, you don't have to keep going. No. Isner's not there. Anderson's not there. No.
But you got Karlovic. You got Del Potro.
No.
You got Opelka.
They don't play that time. Opelka lose in the first round. No.
All right, so there will not be a conspiracy theory match that'll go 3 million.
Your big service will be out in the beginning of the first week of the tournament. No.
So no theatrics, and after this year, next year, the French Open will still not have a tiebreaker.
I think so. They want to keep the old tradition.
Are you glad Nick Kyrgios pulled out?
Yes.
If you picked one food to survive on a desert island for the rest of your life, what would you pick?
Mangoes.
That's a good one. I would have said watermelon, only because of the water and so forth. If you could play one match at any major tournament, where would it be?
U.S. Open.
If you had one wish in life, what would it be?
For my kids to be successful.
Very good wish. I would say happiness, which is inevitably the same thing. If you weren't playing tennis, what would you be doing?
I'd be a track runner.
I'd shoot ball. I'd shoot hoops.
I'd be a track runner.
And then I would be a corner, a defensive player, a cornerback. Not a quarterback, but a cornerback in football. Love playing defense. All right, so we're going to end this show. And again, hopefully it came out navigatable. That's even a word for all of you. And it'll get better with time. Kind of like fine wine. Gets better with time. All right, so we're going to end this show, as usual, with a quote of the day. And if you are new to this show, we always try to end the show with a positive thought or a positive quote of the day. We are going to end this show with opening up the comment section for you all to leave your own quote of the day, and we will use that quote of the day selection that we like on the next show and mention who wrote the quote, at least from its origin, and then the viewer that sent it across. So for the next show, which will be Sunday, and then every day thereafter, once the French Open begins, we will always have our own quote of the day. But for the next show, which I think will be Sunday evening at some point, somewhere in there, we're going to read one of your quotes of the day. For example, I still went ahead and wrote a quote of the day in here, and here is my quote for today. All right? Be kind, for everyone that you meet is fighting a hard battle. And that comes from Plato, and that quote has been written a million different times over the eons of time, basically meaning the same thing. Be kind, because every person that you meet is fighting a tough battle. I don't care if you drive a Porsche or a Lamborghini or have a penthouse in Beverly Hills. There is a battle that everyone is fighting. And at the end of the day, if we can find some sense of kindness, I think it makes everyone a little bit better. Be kind, because everyone that we meet is fighting a hard battle. I can assure you that everyone watching this show, no matter how good or bad one may think it may be, it can always be worse. But at the end of the day, everyone, you, me, Carla, we are all fighting our tough battles. And what better way to deal with that is if you have some stranger showing random acts of kindness. Anyone that you meet, no matter who they are, how much money they have, has their own battles that they're fighting. Remember that. Be kind. So that's it. Click like below. Subscribe to our channel. Please share the videos. Much love to all of you. And we will see you all very soon for the daily shows. Again, if you're new here, don't judge this show by our overall product, because we did our best to cram in 128 matches and further thoughts into one show. Rahesh, we may be talking to you soon with some technical questions if our
and he always hopes so.
And then BDog02, your tripod will now be home to our new camera if it works. All right. Much love to all of you. See everybody on Sunday. And I wish everybody luck trying to beat me. Let's go! On the fantasy teams and for our racket giveaway. And as Carl always says,
Adios.
Adios. Let's go!